shift. Looking like he's swerving, but it's just a Tokyo drift. Kept it real, never switch. Ride or die, homie. And every chick that I'm with look just like a Barbie. I can get a little cocky, okay, and what? And all the hating you been doing, it just ain't adding up. If it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. Need to worry about how the fuck you gonna pay the rent. All this TA on my charts looking just like graffiti. Every time I see Mo, I'm screaming out, feed me. Little shopper horror, come feed me some peach cobbler. It's all peaches and cream when you make a little profit. The Lord of Crypto posted up like a hobby. Tryna put some more coins in this motherfucking watch. Should I let my nuts hang or should I take profit? Gotta keep my eyes open even though I feel exhausted.
To choose.
Keep on grinding or you gon' cry. Stay in the nest or you gon' fly. Put up a few dollars or bet the whole pie. Bet the whole pie.
To choose.
You going long or Danny DeVito? You want a little bump or you want the whole kilo? Killing all your bills like Quentin Tarantino.
Choose.
It's a crypto world. Everybody wanna get a piece. Money will increase. If you learn about it, time to eat. It's a green candle. Hope the bears don't grab the grease. I'm revenge trade. Up all night, I can't even sleep. The sun caught my ass again. Ain't no going back to sleep. Eyes red like I'm so big line, not a sheep. It's a crypto world. Shout out to the crypto girl. Getting to the bag, the whole world. That's what you deserve. Time to swerve and bend the curve. Riding in the forest. Got on market cypher merch. Feeling like it's Ralph Lauren. Steering wheel in a Ferrari. I call that the wheel of fortune. I'm just trying to get my portion. Bending corners like contortion. Drop the top on a Rari. I call that the headless horseman. What the fuck you gon' do? Join the market cypher crew. Told the front desk I need a room with a view. So I can see the Vegas strip. Stumping in my moon boots.
To choose.
Keep on grinding or you gon' cry. Stay in the nest or you gon' fly. Put up a few dollars or bet the whole pie. Bet the whole pie.
To choose.
You going long or Danny DeVito? You want a little bump or you want the whole kilo? Killing all your bills like Quentin Tarantino. All this TA on my charts looking just like graffiti. Oh, what? This TA on my charts. All this TA on my charts looking just like graffiti. Oh, what? All this TA on my charts. Just like graffiti.
To choose.
Charts looking just like graffiti. Just like graffiti. All this TA on my charts. All this TA on my charts. You going long or Danny DeVito? You want a little bump or you want the whole kilo? Killing all your bills like Quentin Tarantino.
Choose.
It's a
To choose. It's time to choose.
We gon' ball till it's over with. Ferrari with the paddle shift. Looking like he's swerving, but it's just a Tokyo drift. Kept it real, never switch. Ride or die, homie. Every chick that I'm with look just like a
Oh man, I've been loving that crown chakra drop right there. Time to choose, man. Time to choose. I love it. Said little shop of horse can feed me some peach cobbler. I love some of his lines. Some of his lines make me laugh. Like, shout out to Crown Chakra, man. We got to get Crown Chakra on the channel. But welcome, guys. Welcome back to the live stream. Welcome back to the show. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel and on this live stream, we show you how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems. So we have been, excavating, and getting things kind of out of our life a little slowly. And one of them, and some of the things are just these little, these like little addictions, little, mental pathways and implants that we put on ourselves, by our own doing. You never blame anyone else for your addictions. You got to always blame yourself. But we're exiting things away from us so we can become a better version of ourselves. And when you can realize what those things are, because they can be different, for everyone, it's all relative. And I think for me, I had these little annoying things that I just don't like about myself, and I want to change them. Okay. And it has a lot to do with crypto, has a lot to do with my risk tolerance, my risk profile, the way that I handle my emotions. And we're going to get into all this today, and it's all going to help us, hopefully, analyze a little bit about ourselves and truly if we're going in the right direction or if we're getting bamboozled. Because I think now I've been in crypto for a long time, long enough to have had to rebuild my bags 3-4 times over, them going to zero, losing it all by exchange capitulations. Every single black swan event I feel like I've experienced from 2021 going all the way till now. I mean, if you've been in crypto since the beginning of 2021 or 2020, you've seen the gamut. So I mean, if you're still here, if you've seen all of this, then you are a legend. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how much freaking crypto you have. I don't give a rip. If you're still here, you are a legend. You deserve a freaking gold star on the board. I don't care, because there's been so much that has happened that if you are just even still trying to do something in crypto or just even look at it still, you, my friend, are a legend. You're a GOAT, and you should be patting yourself on the back. So, and that's just the facts here. And so what we've learned over time is that the market in crypto, Twitter, and the businesses and the exchanges that operate inside of this giant kind of casino that happens here is that they want you to forget the whole basis of crypto. And what you learned to begin with was that you have to be self-custody. Oh, you learn about seed phrases, you learn about decentralization, you learn all about this stuff. And then slowly over time, you get away from the roots of what even crypto was all about to begin with, which was having your own assets, DCAing and holding. That was the thing. It was like hold, diamond hand. That was the old narrative. That was the true essence of crypto back when I got into crypto. I remember, and that's what made me hold Cardano to back right back down to my cost entry way back in the day, because it was like you were taught, if you sell, you're not a part of the community. If you sell, you freaking what are you, lettuce hand, paper handed pansy? So now I'm going back to the roots, man. I'm going back to the roots. Dollar cost averaging, because what the exchanges will get you to do, what the influencers will get you to do, what the people that are trying to sell and courses, or they're trying to get you to sign up with their referral links, is because they want you to trade, and the exchanges want you to trade. The exchanges want you to trade because they make money off of you, okay? The exchanges want you to deposit your crypto on there, so when things get bad, guess who gets duped first? Guess who takes the hit? Guess who gets put in front line to take the hit? It ain't the exchanges, it's you. They freeze your account, they take your crypto, they liquidate the whole market, and they do things like what happened with Binance just 2 weeks ago. You guys, did you forget about that? You think they're just going to continue to get away with this? I don't think it's going to happen like that anymore. So I'm done with the exchanges. I want to partner up with decentralized companies and wallets that are just a way for people to learn about crypto and start holding crypto, because guess what? When you leverage trade on these exchanges, you know the win rate. You should know the win rate. The win rate's like 10% against the 80 to 90% that lose and get liquidated. So that's the facts. That's what's happening right now. And a lot of people are so addicted to leverage and leverage trading, which, hey, right here. Hey, this is Leverage Traders Anonymous, but I'm not going to be anonymous. I'm going to tell you the truth. Leverage trading will get you addicted. You put in one leverage trade and make a good trade. Guess what? You're hooked. It's over. You will then chase that trade and chase the idea that you can be a day trader. And it's like, you have to be honest with yourself, and you need to know that it's not obviously for everyone. And when you see people like Jason Casper, CryptoFace, you see them trading and they've actually been able to do pretty good. But guess what? They had thousands of dollars to start with, and they already DCA'd crypto hard. They already believed in it back then. They probably bought Bitcoin when it was like $1,000. So it's different than the people coming in now to crypto thinking that they need to go into leverage trading right off the bat. And then they quit because they get so caught up in trying to chase these trades. And look, you're not going to beat Binance and the market makers and the AI algorithms and the automation that's happening to literally hunt you down. So this is what you need to realize. And cool, if you have an edge and you're making trades and you're making money, that's great. That's fine. But let's be honest, and let's actually, if we want people to start buying crypto and almost do like they did with Dogecoin back in the day, and rallied behind these specific tokens that ended up having exchanges literally pause the sell button and the buy button because retail was FOMOing that hard. That did happen. That did happen. That was in 2021, and that was the first time that we had actual real retail downloading Robinhood and downloading Coinbase and trying to they were like rushing to figure it out. And so I think with people trying to encourage the leverage trading, encourage the destruction of your own account and journey in crypto, I'm not going to do that anymore because it feels gross. If it doesn't feel right. And if I'm going to be any type of person in this space to have credibility, is I'm going to show you that dollar cost averaging and learning where the money's flowing, learning about the top altcoins, going on chain, looking at this stuff like this, stable coins being minted on these exchanges, and just ignore all the freaking noise. Understand that our government is setting up everything for ETFs and altcoin ETFs to be starting to flow, Solana being the top choice. But no, you've been convinced to only look at Solana as a trench for pump fund. You see how the gaslight happens and you don't even realize that Solana could go to $1,000 or more based on the setups of it being regulated. And why do you think it also correlates with why Binance wash trades it so hard? Because they know Solana is about to take them out. And so this is how you're going to trade the market, my friends. You're going to realize there's a war happening right behind everything, and you're getting distracted by trying to put in leverage trades. You need to be spot buying crypto aggressively, spot buying the narratives that are going to power the future. That's it. I made a post on someone's observation of the markets right now, and I said, look, he said crypto is dead because there was no payoff for suffering. So he thinks suffering is only holding for 4 years. Like, you got to suffer a lot longer. Sorry, Lucas. It's not a 6-month game. It's not a 6-month game, Lucas. And psychologically, that is worse than a crash. And I said, bro, Amazon went up 68,000% over 25-year period. I looked at the chart. I was like, because Amazon was very volatile. It came before the dot-com bubble and crash in 1998, survived it, innovated through the entire thing, and then ended up being the market takeover and what literally is now centralized, obviously, with the AWS crash, with the bubble and everything just went down. And you see now that they have complete monopoly control over even some blockchains. So I said Amazon went up 68,000% over the past 25 years. Crypto as we know it with alts has been around, of the alts that we know in the crypto space that as we know it, since 2016 and 2017. So I said, I think we should zoom out a little bit. Crypto Twitter makes you think you got to make it in 6 months, which is so false and so irresponsible. And I think if I would have half gone in to crypto Twitter instead of going like full in and keep my attention on my original roots plan, And I told you guys this story. I used to, every single time I even got $5 extra, I went immediately to the ATM. I put my fiat and my money where my mouth is, and I put it into crypto, and I DCA'd. And I feel like I let myself get so convinced of certain things and just get chopped up. Because I mean, if you got ADHD, man, I mean, then you're just going to be like squirrel, 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 squirrel. And so I can, take accountability for myself that that's the reason why I got cooked up so many times. But what's great is that I'm not going to continue to be, quote, addicted to the leverage trading and the manipulation of the markets, because you see, like, as much as you think you're safe, look what happened like 2 weeks ago. People had only 2 X's. 2 X's and 3 X's are supposed to be sure you won't get liquidated. You just, so though it's very low risk. But no, the entire market got cooked. So it just proves that if you were holding spot during that and you were taking a poo and you didn't even look at your phone, then you were fine. But if you were leveraging, and that's what Michael Saylor talks about. He's like, don't leverage your account. You'll get liquidated overnight. That's a classic clip of Michael Saylor saying, he's like, you need to just hold, and you need to hold through the pain. The volatility is a feature of this new tech, this new money system. But you have to be willing to ignore all the noise. You have to be willing to ignore all the noise. We could break down, and we do it. We've done it. We break down the charts and this stuff all day. But really, you want to know the alpha? Here's the alpha. Every coin that is a major coin is being leveraged long or short. Okay, you can go to coinglass.com right now. Go to liquidations, and now they have one that's pretty easy chart to now look at, liquidation max pain. Every coin is going to have a liquidation max pain level in a period of 24 hours, 48 hours, 12 hours. Just go there, look at these levels, and then set spot limit orders on the coins that you want to accumulate. There you go. Because the market is going to bring them there very close every single time between a range of resistance and support. And so, for instance, like Solana, they ranged and triple bottomed this thing in 173, 175, 178. And if you were to go back to the liquidation levels of Sol and the max pain right here for longs, because they got everyone bullish, they max pained it probably right in that area to liquidate the longs. And now they pushed it right back up into a range, which was up to liquidate the shorts at 195. So instead of leverage trading this, just buy spot. Just every time there's a dip and there's fear, buy. If there's greed, you can even go on the opposite and just be like, all right, I might just sell a little bit. So instead of, it'd be such a different type of game and mentality that instead of being like, I'm going to risk giving my crypto and my money to the market because I know I'm not smarter than the algorithm and the automation that Binance has put billions and billions and billions of dollars into. That's what they invest in, is to make sure that they can get as much money out of you as possible. And so what do you do to combat that? You need to figure out what the suits are doing, what they're accumulating, and you need to be buying aggressive spot and hold through the pain and know that crypto as a whole, as a total cryptocurrency market cap asset ecosystem, which is basically going to be the new money system, this is how you're going to survive. So I'm encouraging all of you I encourage you and implore you to start to analyze your leverage trading addiction, if you have one, and start to go back to your roots. Buy and hold. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. I don't care. Figure out what your bag is and just believe in it. And don't give it up. Like out of your cold, dead hands, don't give it up. Because you'll be over here yelling at the screen like I am to you to repent, you know? It's a shame. I worked hard and sweat for a lot of that Bitcoin that I ended up giving away to the market thinking I can just 2x or 3x it. Even with stop losses set, and then just slowly seeing it just go away. And then you could say, "Oh, Dano, well, you just suck, man. Oh, you just suck at trading." Yeah, maybe I suck at trading, but I'm real good at having perception of my own undoing. Damn it! So I'm gonna fix it, and this is how we're gonna fix it. Because no one's going to tell you the truth. They won't show you the P&L. They'll just be like, oh, we're getting these entries, putting in the trade, blah, 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 blah. But if you were to go into most people's P&Ls over the past 3 years or 4 years, I bet you haven't even broke even. Show me your P&Ls. Prove it. I showed my P&Ls when I was a profitable trader, and Jason Casper even believed it. He was like, hey, this guy's actually profitable, because I was showing my P&L. I was like, look. And then I had to come back and say, guys, sorry, I don't know how to short, and I got too bullish and got cooked. Yeah, here you go. I had to be honest. Fucking honest Abe over here, excuse my language, but like I couldn't lie to you. I just show you, hey, I just got way too bullish and overextended myself and blew 2 accounts that were worth 10K each. That's why I'm not gonna sell you a course. What I'm gonna do is tell you the truth. And then hopefully I can make you money by you doubling down in your journey, and you start to realize what your edge is. And there you go. You can just buy, you could just buy crypto. You could just spot buy crypto. And why I'm encouraging this is, yeah, there we go. Now someone's speaking some sense. Just buy Litecoin and chill, my friend. Yes. Okay, let's go. All right, so let's look at Litecoin. I've said this for years. Or not, well, now it's been over a year. If you guys have watched this live stream long enough, we've put Litecoin on the weekly chart. And Litecoin is like the canary in the coal mine for altcoin season. And everyone always makes fun of it. And they forget the fact that Litecoin, and guys, remember, there's only been 2 altcoin seasons. 2016, 17, 18, those years, the recovery years, and then the pop off. And then 2021. That's it. That's the only altcoin seasons we've had. You realize this, right? And every other season's been Bitcoin. Right? And then if we looked at ETH BTC ratio, that shows the same thing. There's only been 2 altcoin seasons, my friends. It happened in 2017 and 2021. That's it. That was it. And so until ETH gets here with the BTC ratio, and then we will go back to Litecoin and show you that every time, and this also, these charts being stretched out like this shows you the extension. It shows you the extension of the market right now and why there's been so much manipulation, why the prices are dictated by Binance's control, because they took our crypto. They took our crypto and they're buying more and using our money and extracting from the market. Then they're buying up supply, and then they're able to then send that supply to Wintermute And then the moment that's like Solana or Ethereum or anything that's in competition for BNB to continue to like be propped up, they send it to Wintermute and dump it. They don't own Sol themselves. They're sending customer funds and Sol an ETH to Wintermute, and then they sell it, and then they get the money, and then it dumps. The market adjusts for the dump because it's on chain. And then what they do is then Wintermute takes their cut, and then they send the stablecoin back into the exchange, and then they buy at the bottom. Do you see what's happening here? If you don't believe me, follow Marty Party. That's all I got to say. Because he actually does the on-chain investigation. And then we've done it ourselves where we were like, one of the dumps that happened recently last week was we were like, oh, I wonder what's happening right now. I want to go to Arc Intelligence and just type in Wintermute, hot wallet. And you go to inflows, and then you can go buy the coin, and you just go Solana, Bitcoin, and then type in the amount, a minimum amount of like $1 million, and then you'll see it. Binance, blah, 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 Binance. You'll see Bybit. You'll see OKX. You'll see the top exchanges, but mostly a lot of it's Binance. Goes in, and you can see the transactions coming in. Those days are going to be coming to an end very soon, my friends. And I feel like it's because Solana is now going to be regulated in the United States. Hence my freaking theory that the war is happening on the blockchain. BNB is communist China, and anything that's happening in America and that's being propped up and that the Trump administration and our government is supporting is then now going to be attacked through perp dexes, through leverage trading, and through all of this automation bot crap that's happening with Binance. And FTX and all this stuff was all of that, because think about it. Binance took down FTX, and Sam Bankman-Fried was linked in way more stuff and probably didn't even realize it. I truly think that his parents were probably more behind everything than Sam Bankman-Fried was with their connections with the Democratic Party. But that's a whole nother freaking rabbit hole that we could go down. Man, and then just think about it. And then CZ only does 4 months, just pays the DOJ all that money. What did they do with that money? And then we have Binance being propped up and hits all-time highs while all the other altcoins get destroyed and get brought back to 2022, 2023, 2021 lows, or 2020 bear market lows. And we're just not going to ask any questions? Oh man, this is what is ultimately just, it's basically, it's the last straw for me. It's the last straw for ever trusting any exchange ever again. And I'm going back to my damn roots, my friends. I'm going back to my damn roots. You see this thing? It's called a hardware wallet. It's called a hardware wallet. It's called a freaking cold wallet. And you can put crypto on it and chill. Instead of coming to the charts every day and thinking you're going to beat Binance. No, how you beat Binance is you stop using them, you stop leverage trading, you just stop, and you buy crypto. You freaking buy crypto, and you stop. Because look, you understand that when you're trading, you're just you're leverage trading fake altcoin, and they don't even have the balances of altcoins that you are trading on the exchanges are fake. They don't have that much altcoin. And if they were going to actually have to pay you and pay everyone the amount of money that you're trading with on there, they would go bankrupt and they wouldn't have any money. So of course they're going to take most of your crypto. And that's the whole point. And you're not even contributing to the growth and the balance. And guess what? When more people buy crypto, instead of selling it, the price goes up. Green candles means FOMO. Green candles is the best marketing. No one gives a crap about the tech at the end of the day when the candles are green. It doesn't matter. But guess what does that? More people buying than selling. So if you stop leverage trading and putting USDT and fake USDT to freaking give the exchanges more money, you can use that to add to the damn culture of the new money system. But instead, we've wasted time giving these exchanges our money. Let's get back to Litecoin. So Litecoin is a oscillating indicator for when you should be like thinking about taking some profits in alts. Okay. Here, in those points right here is where alts were going insane. ICO or IPO like was going insane right here. A lot of new projects. And then we went into the bear market, and then we went into COVID. That was the bottom. That was like nice bottom accumulation mode. And then we went into another altcoin season and bull market, going out of COVID and into the top of most of the altcoins, topped out around November. At the end of November, all your alts that you like, Cardano, AVAX, Algorand, I mean, just go down the list. All the altcoins that were the popular alts, Solana, even at that time, anything, Polygon, just, we could just keep going down the list. I don't even, maybe even XRP. But all your alts and a lot of the metaverse tokens and gaming tokens, they were peaking. I mean, it was like FOMO in November. So that was a great time to sell. You know, if you were accumulating down here and you were buying the fear, you just bought the red, no leverage, you just spot buy, you made a killing. Because Litecoin in an average buy, look, it's if you were just dollar cost average, you just didn't care. You were like, look, it's fear, people think it's over, I'm just gonna buy. And if you were to hold until the very top of November, you made a 849% return on Litecoin. And so we forget the power of DCA with the allure of thinking we could 5-10x the market with only $50 USDT. But if you just built up $50 USDT every single week and you just DCA'd and spread it across all your altcoins and just was like, all right, I'm going to put 25 here, 25 there, 25 here, 25 there, 25 here. And then you put it in your, you know, your reserve bank, which is like your Bitcoin and your ETH or your Litecoin, whatever your blue chips are. That's kind of like you're going to be your base, you know, holdings, your 60%, you know, hedge on alts. And then you take the 30% and you're just going, you know, that's the alpha, guys. I'm done trying to like be like, oh yes, no. You, if you're gonna use my links, please don't leverage trade. Please don't do it. Don't do it. Just buy spot. Just buy spot. It's so much easier. It really is. So we waited to see if, okay, so we had a question. We got a couple groks that we want to pull up. If I had $5,000 right now and I wanted to build the best long-term bullish portfolio for crypto and tech stocks, what would I look into? Break it down like a graph, nice visuals, get some historical price figures to back it up. And let's see. All right, so it says building a long-term bullish portfolio with $5,000. So it says the key principles is the allocation. So you want to have 50% tech stocks, stable growth via established companies, and I wanted to add in the tech stocks to see what it would give me, and then have 50% split crypto, higher volatility but explosive upside, and it balances the risk. So the rationale is to select assets with a proven 10-year track record for compounding returns. So a low correlation between categories and a positive analyst outlook for 2025 going into 2030, which is kind of that like, this is that date. The 2030 date is so important because right before then is where we're going to have a new president and we're going to have a new election and we're going to be going into probably one of the craziest times, I think, in history ever, Because this, at this point, think of the growth of AI, think of the growth of robotics, think of the growth of automation, how a lot of people are going to be out of a job and they're going to have to find a way in this life by earning an income. And some of them might not find it. So what's going to happen? And some people try convincing a 60-year-old or 50-year-old plus to learn a completely new job, a completely new skill. Good luck. It's not going to be that easy. So there's going to have to be a universal basic income for people. And guess what it's going to be used through? The blockchain. And it's going to be issued through a stable coin. And guess why all the states are going to have their own stable coin and they're doing stable coin legislation? Because the government knows that thousands of people are going to be out of a job. And how are they going to issue the money? Through stable coins. See, I'm connecting the dots here, my friend. This is my tinfoil hat theory, but this is why I think there is going to be a stablecoin super cycle, because guess what? AI is coming for you. And there's going to be a lot of jobs that are going to be kaput. Amazon's already signaling this. They're replacing everyone with robots. And so your taxi's already getting replaced with a robot. There's going to be nanny robots. I mean, geez, it's going to get crazy, guys. You think it's science fiction? You think it's going to happen in 5 years? Guess what? It's happening in the next 2. So why do you think they're getting the legislation and the Genius Act and the Clarity Act and all the stuff with the stable coins? Because guess what? That's how it's going to be. Get ready. All right, execution tips. Use a brokerage like Fidelity or Coinbase. Interesting enough, Fidelity just gained support for Solana transactions and tokens through Fidelity. Now, do you see why you should be bullish ETH and Solana? Don't be a maxi on one other side, because guess what? Solana's going to succeed as well. You got to remember it's a competition. You got to remember it's a competition in the free market. And what did that do? All it does is push people to continue to innovate. All right, so let's see what it tells us to do. So it tells us to balance a 50% stock in Apple, so allocation 20%, and Microsoft 15%, NVIDIA. So we will remind you why NVIDIA is still going to be a powerhouse probably over the next few years, or the next 5 years, 10 years, because NVIDIA, according to this graph, and it shows how NVIDIA and OpenAI fuel the AI money machine. And so NVIDIA, or let's just say Oracle XAI, this is Elon, Figure AI, Mistral, Nscale, AMD just did a chip deal with OpenAI is Sam Altman with ChatGPT. Microsoft has their own thing with Copilot, and that's powered by also with Nebius. Then there's CoreWeave with Intel. Intel makes chips, but they're also getting in the race. I mean, gosh. So then, but everything is operating on the bubble in the backing of AI succeeding and being the $4.5 trillion powerhouse that it is, exceeding Microsoft at $3.9 trillion. So it's a bubble, but I think it could continue to expand, but also with a little bit of some die off. So we just have to see how it's going to go. We'll just have to see how it's going to go. So it's interesting to kind of correlate that. There it is. Okay. And then it says Tesla at a 5%. So the price right now is $250. We think because Tesla is like, now you're not just investing in a car company, you are investing in the robots going into houses. When you're investing in Tesla, you're investing in autonomy. That's what you're investing in. And you're betting on Elon outperforming everyone, which he's kind of shown a pretty good track record of doing this. I mean, he has a private space company that NASA had to use to rescue their astronauts. If he didn't have a private company and work how he's done, and has a team that he has, that wouldn't have happened. He also has a company, the Boring Company, that is doing construction projects that's being privatized that the government would not be able to do, and as fast as they do. Do you understand this? So this is, you got to think like, this is where we have to be, okay? So Bitcoin, we know now that it is a basically a representation of monetary fiat stability. When Bitcoin is down, that means that that the money system is like, there's just like we've got like tons of fiat. We're just holding fiat because a lot of the times when the dollar was strong and we've had a lot of fiat and we're just holding it and we're not putting it into something, Bitcoin looks like crap. We've just seen that correlated on the charts. It just kind of looks like crap. But then when the dollar starts to go down and no one's holding fiat and it's like, nope. And it's not just based on the dollar, but all fiat. Then what do we see happen? Bitcoin goes up. Risk assets turn on. And so this is what we've been seeing. And so it's showing that really just based off of this, if you held a portfolio of Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, oh, it's giving us that's the price, so the allocation amount. Okay, sorry. So it's saying to get, okay, so this is what the allocation is. $1,000 in Apple, $750 in Microsoft, $500 in Nvidia, $250 in Tesla, and then put a $1,250 in Bitcoin. That's a good amount. That's a great amount of Bitcoin right now. And then $750 in ETH. That'll give you about I give you about 0.1 or something like that. Like it give you like, almost close to like a quarter ETH. And then Sol, $500. It says to have about a 10% allocation in Sol, 500. So that's giving you about almost close to like 2.5 Sol. So nice. I like that. I like this portfolio. It's a decent portfolio. All right. So we wanted to break down a little bit of figures on the dollar cost averaging, okay? Yo, let's go. We got people gifting memberships. Man, thank you. I don't even know how many people are watching. We just started getting into the sauce. Oh my gosh. Yes. We're getting rated. Let's go. Who's doing this right now? Is this Aussie? See, I think Aussie wasn't leverage trading. He was just dollar cost averaging this whole time. Probably Dogecoin. Thank you for doing that, man. 10 new members. Let's go. All right. Now we can do a members only live stream, because we've actually had, like, I'll give a shout out to the people that have been members for like a super long time. They've just kept up their memberships. We're gonna have to give a shout out to Alexandra G, like Jay Spizzle, Trade Intuition. I know Clint, Alexandra G, and then also who is it? Yeah, Kenneth Lodge, Lake the Great's always kept up the membership, and Lasers. But yeah, shout out to all the new members. I really appreciate it. Yes, now this is a nice little group, so we could actually do some members-only live streams and members-only content right here. That's what we always hoped, is if we can build up the memberships, then we can really start to kind of, put some attention on that. But we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And shout out to all the new subscribers. We've got, we're getting close. We're getting close to 4K. It's like right there. We're right there. But yeah, guys, this is really interesting. Like, if you really just want to kind of zoom out, go macro, and just try to not trade so much, because, man, I'm telling you guys, like, the reason why we have this culture of betting, trading, leverage trading is that we forgot the old principle of compound. We have been easily convinced to gamble because they took our money. Like, we've been, like, for 4 years, we had our money being taken in through inflation, through property extortion, through price being priced out, and having to compete with billionaires coming in your neighborhoods. Then we've also had to compete with outsourcing a lot of the work. So then people that had regular blue collar jobs like had to literally go and get 5 other jobs, you know. So the reason why people are resorting to gambling and leverage trading is because they're desperate. Let's just be honest. And so I had that desperation feeling too. And all I had to do was ignore the desperation and instead of being fearful and look at the fear, you buy the fear. You buy it. You like take a cup and you go and you dip that cup in that fear. Oh, you just and take it and just start drinking it. Drink the fear. Buy the fear. You don't trade the fear, you buy the fear. And so by just doing that and like backing the truck up, back in the truck, Ozzy said, I forgot to join myself. No, it's okay. No, some people forget that you can actually be a member of the channel. And it is honestly, it's like the best way that you can support the channel. Cause I think it's like $2 or something, or I think it's like $5. There's like 2 levels. Like you can do, oh, and guys, now do you realize now you can raid, the chat with these really nice emojis. And now I think I can add more. So just start, and we have our Sonic. If you know the lore of this one, this is the Sonic in the Sonic, audio book. It was an audio, press, the press audio books that have the characters on the side, and when you press the character, it matches on the page that you're on. Well, way back in the 90s, they made this one. They made a Sonic one, and it had this whole breakdown of how Dr. Robotnik was trying to take over, like, the world. He's obviously always trying to take over the world, and he had this certain type of currency, and there was a currency in there called, it was, oh gosh, what was the currency called? I think we'd have to go way back into the lore, a lore post. Let me see. Sees Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, 10 Inu, lore. What the hell? Okay, wait. I think if I just type this in, just the search. This is cool. I mean, it's really amazing. Which account is the lore account that just posts the best lore? It's the Bitcoin logo. Is that it? Oh, guys, if that, please, Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, Tiny New, Ticker Bitcoin community, please help me. I gotta find this. There it is. I think this is it. Is this the account? There it is. Yes, I found it. The speedy, spiky dude with the tude has never lost the race, and with his pals Knuckles and Tails and Sally on his team this year, the Freedom Fighters are favored again. Freedom Fighters, do you understand? Freedom Fighters. But Robotnik and his hench bots plan to set booby traps throughout the race. Booby traps, aka leverage trading. Do you understand? Will be the only team crossing the finish line, he calls to his robotic fans. First prize is the most radical finish line freebie ever. The cool blue baloo, an ancient coin worth 6 million Mobiums. Sonic wants to donate the prize to the Mobius Hospital for a computer virus wing. If Robotnik wins, he'll trade the coin for an expensive super cyber chip. He'll use the chip to take over the planet. It's powerful enough to destroy Sonic too. If Sonic survives the race, that is. Get out of freaking town. You guys are not ADD, ADHD, schizo enough. But let me pull you into our world here. Let me get you want a little peek into our brains? Here it is. Oh my God. I can't take it. I love it so much. I love that lore. It is amazing. It's so good. You can't recreate this lore. That's why I like Ticker Bitcoin so much. It is the most fascinating lore. This better be real. It looks real. I have looked it up, and I think it is confirmed this is a real thing. But what's also fascinating to me and we got raided by the Buckazoids, the Buckazoid community one time because we mentioned about it, and that's some really interesting lore too, because there's this game. Let's go to it. Like, don't connect the coin. There's like 7 coins of Buckazoids. I have no idea what's even the real coin or if the coin's even worth anything. I have no idea. But I like the lore. I like the story. So Buckazoids. The story with this, as they tried to pull this lore of the creation of Bitcoin and link it back to a game that had this currency in it called Buckazoids, and the logo had the B on it with the rocket. Like this. So apparently, this is what inspired some of the cypherpunks and the cryptographic people like Hal Finney and Adam Beck and all the original coders and people that were messaging back and forth with Satoshi. Is that this is what inspired it, and they test ran and really actually in a virtual environment tested it to make sure that it worked. that was also my theory, is that like, oh, okay, well, so if there's all this stuff and they kind of pulled all this lore together, then what they did is they tested their idea in a virtual realm, which is easy to do in a video game, and you program it and kind of see how it is and see how it's connected with how our reality is programmed. This is how you can kind of go down that rabbit hole. It's really fascinating. It really is fascinating. So I like the idea to think that ultimately Bitcoin and the idea of a new money system was actually first tested in a video game virtual environment, which is super cool. Well, that's such a cool way to think about our money system. All right, so this is kind of what is happening over across the macro in terms of the world. U.S. market open. U.S. sanctions on Russia keep crude bid. U.S. equity futures mixed post Tesla, IBM, and quantum news. Let's see. China published fourth palladium I don't know what the hell that is. It said the dollar is flat. U.S. Treasury Secretary Besson said any export controls regarding China will be in coordination with G7 allies. Taiwan U.S. envoy said they are close to reaching a trade agreement with the U.S., so with Taiwan. So what does Taiwan do? Well, I mean, they make the chips, right? That was the whole thing. We'll see what happens with that. USD is slightly firmer, flat, trading with a very narrow 98. I wonder how the dollar is looking. Like, so if we're looking at the dollar, we'll look at the dollar. We'll go to the DXY and we'll kind of see. We've had this theory that the dollar was going to continue to trend down into this area, and this would signify us being in a bull market and you know, going into altcoin season. Because remember, like we said before, these are the only times that we've had altcoin season was when the dollar was down in this level. 2 altcoin seasons, okay? Only 2. And so what's great is that if you buy here and you hold the altcoins until we get to here, then you will be massively rewarded. And that's what I want to explain to people that are coming into crypto now, or they're getting into CT and they're making an account and they're like, oh, let me follow people. Guess what? You're gonna think it's over. You're gonna get convinced that you need to get rich in 6 months. And it's crap, because it takes about a couple years. You had to buy up here in 2015, hold when the dollar was like, it was just, you know, it was really going up, and then you had to hold until it got down into 2018. That took you a couple of years of pain, probably, to then get here. Same thing with here. You buy in the pain of COVID, dollars up, risk is completely off because everyone thinks the world's about to end, and then you are massively rewarded by buying the absolute freaking like lows here in fear. And then the market and the stock market, because you can look at the S&P, and that also happened in the stock market too. Look, destruction. Everyone was calling for it to even go lower right here, to go another 30%. And what did it do? It rallied and then went up another 115% going into 2022 in the beginning of the year. So all you had to do, buy the fear on the lows, spot, and then literally hold it up into here. Craziness, right? Kind of the same thing here. 2010, this low right here, we got pinched on that low, same low as 2024, and then this was this low, and so we've only rallied 39%. So that's why I think we could get the stock market could continue to go, at least the S&P. I think if we pulled that 100% rally from the lows and this was a similar low, then we could have the S&P going to $10,000. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy to think? You think, no, there's no way. There's no way. But no, it probably could happen. It probably could happen. Because look at that low on 2020, 125. And that was a nice low. We'll look at Tesla. Tesla, like I said, I think Tesla is going to be worth, and Kathy Wood actually was calling for a super bullish Tesla price of over $1,000 from where it's sitting at right now, which would give you a nice 3x. I mean, you get a nice 3x going into 2026, I think. I mean, this thing could just pop. But we'll have to see. Then you have Circle, NVIDIA, this is just the some of the stocks that we're paying attention to. All right, let's go into a little bit of some of the crypto trends presented by crypto.com. So BlackRock is expanding into stablecoin market with the redesigned money market fund, the BlackRock Select Treasury-based liquidity fund. compliant with the U.S. Genius Act, so more stablecoin stuff. Man, we gotta like go dark mode. Where's the dark mode? Is there a dark mode for Substack? It's so bright. Let's see, appearance. Do you guys know where there's a dark mode for? It's like so. It's so bright. Uniswap. Okay, yeah, this is the other thing. This is, I'm telling you guys, Solana, man. Solana is going to surprise people who are bearish Solana. Like, I'm sorry. Like, how are you bearish Solana? It doesn't make any sense. Uniswap integrated Solana support into its web app using Jupyter's Ultra API, allowing users to trade Solana-based tokens. Polymarket just did this. Everyone is giving Solana support, realizing that it didn't go down during the AWS. They have a different type of validating. It's different. It's in competition to Ethereum. Maple Finance partnered with Aave to bring institutional grade assets into Aave's leading market. That's cool. Blockchain analytics firm Nansen and Solana's liquid staking protocol Sanctum partnered to launch a liquid staking token, NX Sol. Remember that all these ETFs, like the ETH ETF, is going to have staking soon, and all of the Solana ETFs will have automatic staking and restaking. The Gemini credit card that was just released for Solana has automatic restaking Sol rewards. So every app now that has Sol that you can hold in Sol on your wallet, you can stake it in the platform. So Sol's going to $1,000, my friends. Just prepare. I think it's still going to be the biggest institutional bet for an altcoin, giving you a 350% move from its price right now. So if it goes to $1,000 or even near 900, that will outperform Ethereum. Because if Ethereum, from where it's at right now, goes to our price target, which I think is a safe bet of 8K. Going into whatever cycle we're going to be having euphoria, 8K ETH, that's a 200% move. So Solana going to where I think its price target is a 350% move. So if you're holding both, you're going to do great. But just know that like Solana probably will, in my opinion, I think outperform most of the altcoins in this section. Now there's going to be stuff that's going to go up 800%, 900% over a period of three to 4 months. Because that's what happens with some of these altcoin seasons is you get 3 months of chaos and it's like almost, and it's wild. We've seen it happen. So just don't be surprised when you see Solana ripping and people and institutions are doubling down on the ETF. And I've showed you this chart, the far side chart. Remember how Ethereum looked? Looked like garbage. And then look at it now. Inflowing in millions and millions of dollars every day. Solana right now, okay, 27 mil. Look, okay, yesterday they sold 4 million. Watch. Just watch. It will start to say millions of dollars, 100 million, and then all of a sudden you're going to see $1 billion. And then that's when Sol's going to peak over $450, $500. And Binance will not be able to sell enough Sol to put the price down like they've been doing. Because it's going to be regulated with CME, with ETFs, staking, and it's being used as a chain to also mint a lot of stablecoin. It's trying to do commerce, trying to do everything. So it's like, as much as they're going to try and kill it, good luck. That's all I got to say. Do your part by not having any BNB and let their chain die and let Binance get probed and let them get taken down so then the space can actually finally be free. That's all I got to say. But yeah, so this is what I think is happening right now and why Solana is going to be really, really important. It's going to be really interesting. So I'm pretty bullish Solana, honestly. just for this fact. The more you start to dive in and start to realize, it's like, oh crap. This was crazy. I don't know if you guys found out, know about this, but Paxos is, if you guys know your history about Binance got in trouble with, also in junction with Paxos with their stablecoin, and why they even got in trouble for misappropriating funds and doing all their shady stuff in the United States with Binance.us, but also in conjunction with Binance overseas. That's why CZ went to jail. And so, because there was all this kind of crazy stuff that was going on, and also there's probably this back end deal of how they were going to get money from the Chinese through CZ with the $4 billion through the DOJ. I mean, probably just all kinds of dirty stuff. Tinfoil hat theories again. But look, Paxos, the issuer of PayPal's PYUSD, which can freeze your money, by the way, stablecoin, accidentally minted 300 trillion worth of PYUSD on Ethereum blockchain before burning it shortly after, causing confusion among crypto users. I mean, and then Richard Hart came out and said, like, I mean, could you at least have 10 people sign a multi-sig or whatever, or do the transaction before you mint 300 trillion when you weren't supposed to? Shows that they could probably just accidentally wipe out your balance if they wanted to. Sorry. This is crazy, man. Crypto is hilarious. And just like the Cadena. And then there's also news, Cadena. If you remember, Cadena was a blockchain that a lot of crypto influencers and KOL were like, yeah, Cadena is a great, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Oh, there's a Cadena fund. You can build on Cadena. They'll give you a grant and then you can build on Cadena. And then you go over and you give them money. And then, look, they were at a hackathon just a week ago, and some of the developers didn't even know that they were about to just rug pull the entire project. And so then they just put this message out and say, yeah, sorry, we're ceasing all operations. Everything's done. Just, sorry. They didn't even tell their own developers that they were about to rug. It's a shame out here, man. It's pretty crazy. So Sony Bank filed for a national trust bank charter with the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, OCC, to issue and manage US dollar-backed stablecoins. It's interesting. France Lightning Stock Exchange is set to launch Europe's first tokenized IPO by early 2026. You gotta remember, there's gonna be these different stock exchanges. Now we have the Texas Stock Exchange in the United States. Remember, Texas does it big. Anything you do in Texas, it's big. And it's interesting. It's all kind of starting to go down this rabbit hole of privacy, where you're gonna actually be able to store your funds in a private way. So companies and institutions and hackers and people that are gonna try and steal your information are gonna wanna see what you're purchasing. And so then that's going to lead us down the rabbit hole of why Texas has actually been the forefront of freedom, libertarianism, and also being private and being able to be autonomous, have your own stuff, right to bear arms, all that. Texas has been, they've been on the front. I mean, I'm surprised Texas hasn't conceded, but they do still hold American values and they want to be a part of the Constitution. So we're going to now segue into talking about privacy and Zara. I'm not paid to talk about anything, so whatever I talk about is my own opinions, my own rabbit hole tinfoil conclusions. But I mentioned this because this person, Dax, he's from Texas. I think he lives in Texas, and he's been going to these things. Yeah, in the heart of Texas. Every time I talk about Texas, I think about Sandy Cheeks, and that when Patrick and SpongeBob were making fun of Sandy from being from Texas, and then they were trying to make her mad, and they were like, "Oh, Texas." So funny. One of the funniest shows ever. So why I'm pulling this up is that they're building a protocol that on Solana, no less, that is going to be able to hold your assets ZK proofed. And then you can then now use a hardware wallet to then send your assets from peer to peer and from wherever you want to inside the ecosystem without people being able to see what the heck you're doing. Which you would think, well, oh, what are you trying to hide? Well, I mean, do you want people knowing that you ordered, you know, like 1,000 weird items of something? No, you don't. You don't want to. I mean, if you don't want people knowing that you went to Taco Bell at 3 a.m. multiple weeks in a row, I mean, they think you're a piece of just a piece of human garbage. So you're gonna have to probably be a little bit private with your purchases here. And so let's go down the rabbit hole here. All right, so they actually have a test. They have this. I wanted to say that there's a. Okay, excited. Here's the UX. Okay, so this is what I wanted to pull up. I was curious about the dashboard. We're gonna be testing this out here soon. I'd love to test it out because this is new tech. So we like the old stuff. Headband always makes fun of me for talking about the old coins, and but also I have to do my part and be a part of the culture and show what people are doing and trying to build in the space right now. And so while people are kind of wondering, like, why the heck is Zcash pumping so hard? You know, should we pay attention to Monero now? Like, what should we do? Should we have a bag of privacy coins just as like a hedge against all the other things that could be centralized and tracked a lot more? What do we do? This could be something to you know, try to build your portfolio going into the next few years. But I think this is pretty cool. So it looks like on the dashboard, let's analyze the dashboard again. I want to see. All right, so looks like you have a dashboard. You got your wallet address here. You can send and receive, and you can swap. You can also see the performance on a timed 24-hour, weekly, monthly basis. You can see your balance inside the dashboard. It gives you a graph of your balances. You have private cash, then you also have payments, and then you can see activity. So it's very, very simple UI, but I like it. Sometimes simple's better. You don't want a bunch of stuff to confuse people. You just want it to be simple. And that's why I've always liked Pulse Chain too. You know, Pulse Chain's always just been very straightforward. Here's your trade, here's your farm, here's your pair, here's how you add LP. It brings you right to the contract to add the LP, so then you can stake it inside to earn incentive token, which is the reward. Pretty basic. The only thing that I want them to do in the Pulse X dashboard for Pulse Chain is to add the token balances on the when you go here, like Uniswap, for instance. Uniswap added this a couple years ago because it wasn't like this. You would just go right here, and then you can see your wallet balances and your coins and all the networks right here. So this would be super cool because Pulse X is basically, it's the DEX, it's the Uniswap of Pulse Chain. So they should just add the balances right here. I thought it would, and then Richard Hart actually replied and said, you know what, it actually would be a good idea to have it native inside, like just in the software. So like, well, add it, please. Come on, dev. You're my dev, man. You're supposed to add this stuff. But we're doing our part, adding money and having a little bit of a balance into the culture bleeding edge of probably the most asymmetric upside ecosystem, the most made fun of ecosystem in all of crypto. And so we're doing our part. We're holding some Pulse Chains, some PLS X, some Hex, some DAI, some PDAI incentive, and pretty soon we're going to be buying some Peacock, some Teddy Bear, and some Gray's currency because those are the most popular coins on the chain right now. According to, if you go to my Pulse Chain dashboard on danocrypto.com, we made a fun little dashboard just to test out some code, and you can see here the top 24-hour volumed tokens in the ecosystem right now is, like I said, Peacock, which was a CTO'd project by Liberty Swap, which is one of the main swaps and multi-chain bridge that was promoted by Richard Hart and also as available on the pulsechain.com website as one of an option for a bridge. They CTO'd this, and this is one of the more popular tokens right now. Teddy Bear is an original meme that was established on Pulse Chain in the early days, still pretty popular. And then another one is the UFO token, but then also along with the UFO token, you have the Grays currency. So the Grays currency, I'm very interested in. I think that one. Where is it at? Yeah, the Grays currency. That's called TGC. The Grays currency. I'm very fascinated by this. I have not bought any. As you can see, I showed you my bag. This is all I have. I've dabbled in a little bit of pump.tires and tried to, as you can see, Dragon Believer was, am I a Pulse Chain maxi? No, I'm not a maxi on anything. I just want to find the most asymmetric upside stuff that I can buy spot and hold into the euphoria to then see my wallet be worth millions of dollars. That's what I want. That's what I want in crypto. And so... And I believe in what I'm holding and where I think is probably the most asymmetric upside. I mean, guys have different stuff. Like, I'm not replying because I'm not paying attention to the chat right now. I'm trying to break down a thesis, pork and lamb. All right, what do you want me to reply to? I didn't. Sorry. Let me see my chat. Sometimes if I focus too much on the chat, then I get derailed. I get so derailed, and I can't get derailed. What were you trying to say? Unless you're saying you're gonna promote me to all your Twitch friends and get like 25 to 30 new Twitch people watching, I don't want to hear anything you have to say. I'm sorry. Unless you're going to evangelize this live stream to every Twitch person you know. Oh, AI Griff, you got the Seeker? Yeah, I'm probably going to get that too. I want the SG1. I want that Solana Play SG1. You got to think, like, what other blockchain has multiple devices that they've already shipped and have, you tell me. You tell me. But yeah, no, I like the idea of Hex and how it pissed people off so much. It really, like when you mentioned Richard Hart, it made them mad. You talk about Pulse Chain, they're like, oh, you're in Pulse Chain, oh my god. And then that makes me even more bullish. Oh, it makes me even more bullish. And then when I talk about ticker Bitcoin, Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, 1080, they're like, oh, the ticker's Bitcoin? Yeah, it's the only meme coin that's been able to survive through having the ticker be Bitcoin. But it's the ultimate bleeding edge culture mix and mash of the space as a whole. But that's just my own way of thinking about it. Speaking of that, we're going to give a shout out to Blue from Pawn Talk. He had more light on the Pawn Talk with Blue, sponsored by Apu. So we'll give a shout out to the Apu community. We realize that the people that hold ticker Bitcoin, hold Wojak, hold Apu, hold Pepe, hold Kekius. What else can we get? SPX 6900. They're all those whales are all holding these coins, and they're DCAing like crazy. They're buying thousands of dollars of it. And so they're just waiting till ETH breaks true all-time highs, because this is just, this is ridiculous. I mean, come on, we're not in altcoin season yet. It's not time to sell. It's time to continue to buy and not be fooled. Spot. Okay? AI Gris says, I haven't ever heard you talk about Pulse Chain, really. What? Have you been watching the live streams? Holy shit! I've mentioned Pulse Chain a ton. I just feel like people don't pay attention, or I mention it maybe like halfway through the live stream, but holy crap, no. I only have a dashboard on my website to for people to mess around with. Craziness. And so thank you so much for gifting these memberships out. Holy crap. It's going nuts. I appreciate it. All right, so let's get back on track. Don't derail me, please. All right, so let's see what more Light has to say. Let's play a little clip.
I don't have that kind of unresolved trauma or question in my life. I'm pretty well adjusted and happy with what, where I am. But and I'm also an attorney. I can't really afford to be concussed or have some serious brain damage. So I'm happy to raise.
They were
money
talking about the fight
and do whatever I need to do for the coin and for the community. But not too interested in hashing out beef with people like that. You know what I mean? I'll file a lawsuit, James. I mean, I'll fuck someone's life up in court in a way that they'll be wishing that I would have just punched them in the face. But I'm not.
That's the thing. Litigation is such a slog. It's sort of like you.
Hey, shout out to the super chat. Oh my gosh, super chat. So, dude, you gifted. How many memberships did you gift? You gifted like 10, over like 15 memberships. And a super chat. Yes, an epic members only live stream is coming. Yes. 100%. And look, guys, if you're a member, look at your name now. If you're a member, make sure you are not a grifter in the chat. And you put some Pepes, you put some Doge, you put some Bitcoin. And we're gonna now that we have 16 new members, we're gonna add some new emojis, and we'll do a vote. We'll do a poll. Like what should we add as the emojis? Should we have like a Gary Gensler head? Like what should we have? Should we have more light? Who should we have? Charles Hoskinson with the ant hands on. I don't know. What should we do? We got to have a Vitalik. We should have a Vitalik head. All right, so let's look at some price action here. I mean, it's funny. We actually didn't look at Bitcoin the entire time. If you're able to not look at Bitcoin's price the entire time that you've done a crypto live stream, you are a special type of person. You are a special type of person to resist the urge to show people the Bitcoin price action and instead break down an entire ethos of why you should be bullish crypto instead and not leverage trade. I'm not going to show you the Bitcoin price not a single time. No. But our best guess, this was our best guess TA, is that from this bottom, we went up 25% to all-time high, okay? And then from this bottom here, I think we could go to 136. But I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know when the pop is going to happen, but look a little similar to this. 25%. 25%. We'll see. John McAfee. yeah, we could do that. Let's see. So we're talking about altcoins so much. The altcoins that I'd like to hold long term would be something like Solana, Polygon, Pol, so it's Pol ecosystem, the Pol token, Dogecoin, Pepe. Even though the Pepe chart kind of looks like crap, but like, you know, Crow. I think Litecoin still like at under $100 is I think it's not too bad. I'm really interested in just whatever these chains that are going to be used for most of the rails. That's what I'm interested in. Like, I want to know, like, here's you just like cut through the noise, like who's got the stable coins, who's like got the most stable coins happening, who's got the most volume. Dex volume, you know. So if you're going to go down to the low list, you got Ton, XRP Ledger, Pulse Chain, Near, Barachain, Mantle, Say, Linnea, Aptos, Tron. Then you start getting up in the upper tier, Avalanche, Polygon, Sui, Arbitrum, Ethereum, Solana. I'm not mentioning the third one. Bridge TVL over to Plasma has been 10 billion. Jeez, that's crazy. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but holy crap. Yeah, Solana's been doing really good with the 24-hour DEX volume. Is that the right up under Ethereum? I wanted to point out a fact of the crypto holders overall, including DCA users. There's 560 million people, global owners, as of 2024 for crypto. And out of those 560 million people, there's only 172,300 millionaires. Now, crypto traders, as of this date, there's 525 million in the trading subset, and there's only 88,200 millionaires, primarily made from trading, as their baseline. So so leverage trading pitfalls, high failure rates undermine success. The leverage amplifies gains but devastates the losses. Ideal for pros, disastrous for retail. Overwhelming advice against it, with users noting few succeed, most fail, and quick way to lose money. No major study shows a 10% long-term profitability for retail leverage traders in crypto. Instead, 70% lose capital within months per exchange audits. Yeah, exchange audits. DCA avoids this. In a 10-year Bitcoin simulation, $52 year DCA yielded $2,000 plus returns by 2023 with zero liquidation risk. Well, crypto, and here's the, okay, well, guess what? Crypto Face can do that because he has thousands and thousands of millions of dollars of USDT to be able to blow. And he's got thousands of Bitcoin, and he's got thousands of Pepe, and he's got millions and millions of dollars of coins all over the place. He's been doing it for a long time. So people have to get off of the thing of watching these big traders with these big accounts and thinking that they're trading the same. It's not the same. They have nothing at stake. They have nothing at stake like we have at stake. Like if we lose that money, that's it. It's gone. Like I trade my Bitcoin, it's gone. I don't get to have an exchange like send me more money to trade with. That's not happening. So it's ridiculous. So it's like, that's why I'm not getting caught up in that. And I think people getting caught up in it are going to get addicted to it and realize that you're going to get rocked. And you have to start with a lot more money than just, here's the deal. I could do it, but you know what? I'm not going to get caught up in that because it's too addicting. It's too addicting. It's way too addicting. The prospect of leverage trading. It's so addicting. It's so addicting, man. It'll keep you up at night. It'll burn your eyes out of your freaking head. And your best bet to literally put years back onto your life is to literally buy boring snooze fest and do nothing. Everyone's addicted to the betting and the leverage trading, and I'm not gonna condone or add into it anymore because it doesn't feel right to me. So I'm not gonna do it. So just know that when you see Crypto Face putting in that trade, he can lose all of it. He doesn't care. He's gonna go, oh, I round tripped it. Oh, yeah, good. You can round trip it. You're able to do so. But everyone watching your stream, if they lose, that was it. Do you understand? Do you freaking understand now? So it's irresponsible. You can copy trade all day, but then they're not right all the time. Even with Market Cipher, has all the levels, money flow, RSI. Still will round trip a trade for hundreds of thousands of dollars and give you that dopamine hit of, oh, shit. I'm demystifying it for you now, okay? Let me demystify this crypto game for you here. From someone who has been a victim of my own doing in what is the biggest trap in crypto history. It's to get you to stop buying crypto and try and leverage it up, baby. Get out of here. Done with that crap. So we're going back to the basics, my friends. What is that? Diversification buying crypto. You hold it in some wallets that you can trust. Cold wallet, hot wallet. And you literally never marry an exchange. And you freaking hold until it's peak freaking euphoria and greed out the wazoo. And then you sell. But then you could also go down the damn rabbit hole and realize that, wow, everything is probably going to be on chain and the whole new money system is going to be reliant on a few different regulated blockchains. And if you had invested in that, just like the early days of Amazon, like we gave the example of this freaking tweet right here, of this one right here, going and saying that Amazon went up 68,000% over 25 years, and we're being convinced in crypto that we need to be in 6-month spread cycles and make our freaking emotions go out of freaking whack. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Again, zoom out, crypto Twitter and influencers will make you think you got to make it in 6 months. Well, we know that is such BS, and it takes a few years. No one likes to hear it, but it's the truth. Yeah, and then to think that and so these people that are trading like this, and look, I'll call them out. Like for instance, like Carl, like love Carl to death, Carl from the Moon, Carl Runefelt, but like he was encouraging people to open up trades like on all these altcoins. He's like, just if it gets liquidated, open up another trade. And even Crypto Kid Hefe was like, bro, like you can do that. You have like unlimited like capital. He's like, you have millions of dollars. You can do that. You can afford to do that. It doesn't affect you. These people that are watching the stream are new in crypto and they got $1,000. You tell them to go leverage trade their $1,000, you're gonna freaking get cooked. So I don't like that. It's irresponsible. It's irresponsible. So like I want my credibility in this space to be rock freaking solid. I want when people hear Dano Crypto, they go, "Oh yeah, I like that guy. He's been pretty straight shooter since he's been on the timeline. He's been pretty honest guy." I mean, if at least I can get that. Cuz I'm not trying to BS you here. I'm not trying to make you think I'm some freaking genius guru. God, I've made so many mistakes. And that's going to be my edge in continuing to show up, is that I can have the accountability, not try and convince you to start leverage trading like you're going to become a millionaire from leverage trades. But no, I'm going to try to like, hopefully like calm you from the degen, like escapades, like bring you back in and tell you, hey, I've been there too. Like, I know it's addicting. I know it's hard. I get it. And let's get back to the basics. Let's get back to that bag. Let's get back to that person who got into crypto originally and was hitting that bag DCA, and every time you saw a dip, you're like, no, I'm staying here. I'm staying. I'm not leaving. And you're not taking my crypto. Let's get back to the roots, baby. Let's get back to the freaking roots. Let's do it, my friends. Put some W's in the chat. Put some freaking W's in the chat. Let's go. Come on. About to spam my own chat. See, if you waste time trying to leverage trade, you won't make stuff. Look, I used to make stuff. I used to make stuff before I started trying to leverage trade. I was making NFTs. I had all kinds of stuff. I had all kinds of stuff cooking. It's the freaking roots of the dojo, my friends. I used to talk about it all the time, and then I got so off kilter trying to leverage trade. And it really truly is a scam. It's a cancer of addiction and gambling that no one will admit to. They won't admit to it because they want to see, they even get a hit from you trading. All the people watching Crypto Face's live stream, look, I even realized it. I was up late at night and I was wanting to watch some YouTube stuff and I wasn't trading or anything like that. And then what did I see? Crypto Face come on. $1 million long, $1 million law. And then what did I do? I started to catch the FOMO. I saw he was trading Chain AI. Oh, Chain AI. Oh, COAI, this wash token that Binance has been using to freaking wash trade their freaking shit that they stole from the market. That coin. Oh, you're trading that one, Crypto Face, to get everyone wrecked. The coin was swinging all over the place. It was going like this. And what did I do? Pulled my freaking phone out and tried to trade it. And in that moment, I realized, wow, I'm letting the freaking influencers dictate what my freaking plan is, what my freaking plan is in crypto. I'm gonna let them convince me to do something? No, I'm not falling for it, Dave Digital. Please tell me how that is where there's only 10% of leverage traders that succeed and everyone else is getting cooked. It's false. And most of the traders that sell courses, and I'm not talking about you guys, but they've been caught. They don't even trade on real accounts. They trade on fake accounts. Don't tell me that, because show me the facts. Show me the facts. Please, show me the facts. You know who made more money? People who DCA'd Dogecoin on the lows and Shiba Inu and hold spot meme coins better than the people that thought they could time the market trading and leverage trading. So the facts are there. You can take this, but Dave, come on, like, be honest, man. The trade skill and what you're talking about right now, didn't mean shit when Binance just liquidated the whole market. What are you talking about? Like, the whole market got cooked on 2x, and you're telling me I need to still think it's a skill issue? Get the hell out of here. Reassess. What are you talking about? It's a skill issue. What are you talking about? Get out of here. That's insane. That's why I'm so done. I'm not falling for it, man. It's so crazy. That's why I respect the Bitcoin maxis so much, because they just bought and they freaking held through pain, suffering. They had to go through spit in the face, multiple Bitcoin funerals. And what do? They just bought and hold. No, when Binance controls 70% of the market, it's not a skill issue. Stop it. It's not a skill issue. They cooked all those coins, and anyone who thought they had risk management at play got cooked. And what, are we just going to sweep that under the rug? What, are we just going to sweep that under the rug? Let's be honest with ourselves here, my friends. Okay, if that's correct, I want everyone right now who's watching, who's a leverage trader, to tag me on X right now and show me your P&L spread on every single exchange that you've used. And I want your P&L spread right now, and I want it for the past 3 years, and show me that you've even broke even and been a profitable trader. I want you to show me right now. Show me right now. Show me right now. Show me right now your 3-year spread on Blowfin, on Crack, on Qcoin. Whenever we didn't need KYC. Show me. Show me. Show me how much fees you paid. Show me. You guys don't even know. Show me your spread. Show me your spread. Do you know? Crypto happened so fast, you probably forgot even how to, you don't even have it all tracked. So tired of this false bull crap on this freaking space. It's all fake. The only real thing is you buying crypto. That's it. Spot crypto. I'm speaking the truth here. No one ever wants to hear it, but it's the damn truth. It's the truth. Show me your P&L. Show it to me right now. Everyone. I want your P&L from every single exchange. Give it to me right now. I want it all. Where's your P&L for the past 3 years? Screenshot it. Guarantee you're lucky if you're in profit. That's all I gotta say. Go into all your exchanges that you put in FOMO, all your leverage trades over the past 3 years, and I want it all broken down in a spreadsheet, my friends. And I bet all of that jumping around and leverage trading, thinking you're going to beat Binance, if you would have just put that money into Bitcoin, spot Bitcoin, you'd probably be up more. That's the sad truth. And see, no one will tell you that. They'll say, keep clicking, keep clicking. No, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm going back to the roots, my friends. Going back to the roots, my friends. You can take it or leave it, but I'm not going to be one of those accounts that I'm going to give you loss porn or gain porn or whatever it is that you guys get from the dopamine hits from people putting in trades. Go to CryptoFace for that. Go to CryptoFace for that. You want to learn how to survive, then you come here, because I'm going to tell you the truth. Trick or treat. Trick or treat. Trick or treat, folks. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm so fired up. They only want to, yeah, people only want to show their wins. Where's your losses? Yeah, let me see your losses. That's at least why Jason Casper even gave me credit, because he was like, yo, bro's showing his P&L. That's why he even gave me shout outs to begin with. He was like, bro's showing his P&L and he's showing it when he's getting cooked. I showed you. I showed you guys my P&L. No one ever wants to do that. I know I'm not most people. I'm just saying I will succeed in crypto, but it's not going to be through leverage trading. It's going to be from me being me and doing contracts with companies, building my own brand, and having something that I am passionate about. And I'm not, and that's going to be my edge. It's not going to be leading people to the slaughter. I'm not going to lead people to the damn slaughter. I don't want to do it anymore. It's like dangling a carrot over a volcano pit. So fade me all you want, but guess what? I'm going to survive a lot longer than these traders. And I feel that in my freaking soul, in my chest. And I'll take that to the damn bank. So and look, I knew it. Look at this. This is crap. See, I'm starting to lose all hope for everything. There is a massive coordination. Trump just pardoned CZ per the Wall Street Journal after they just did what they did. Oh man, I'm so done with these exchanges. I'm so done. And look, following the news, BNB shot up to $1,138. Dude, this is such crime season. What a freaking crock, man. Wow, this is insane. This is insane. Donald, you're pardoning the enemy, my friend. You're pardoning the enemy, but I guess that's fine. This is insane. Look, and see, people are smart. Kook, wow, Trump pardoned CZ right after CZ's biggest crime ever. Crime is literally legal. This is look, I will pardon you if you liquidate everyone after I place a short. Do you understand the connections that are happening here in crypto with the DOJ, our administration, Binance, CZ, the money laundering, all the stuff? This is how the game works. This is how the game works. And you think it's being, and then you guys think it's being fought with guns and bombs and stuff. It's being fought like this right now. And no one has any clue. But no, keep clicking, keep leverage trading and not DCAing. But all right, my friends, I'll leave you at that. I'll let you ponder some of the things that I talked about, and I want you to reassess. Go back, like literally, like go into a quiet space and then remember everything that I just said today. 100%. You need to go into a quiet space. You need to remember everything I just said. Some people don't listen. They want it goes one ear out the other, especially when it comes to things that are combating on their addictions. So I know that resistance too. But again, love you guys. Thanks for the support. Come back next live stream. I promise I won't ear beat you. See you later.